Accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Shift. Great 57.
Now Wentz. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready, blue 80. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Let's go.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup. First down.
First down, Atlanta.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, 31 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Coming to you.
Throwing is Wentz. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line.
At their own 44-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Here's Ryan to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
They toss to Freeman. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. 25 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 11 yards there, first down.
First and 10 at the 36.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ricky.
Sproles. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
This pass complete, wins to Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards, a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On first down, they run with Howard. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 28. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 3rd and 4.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Wentz now to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Waiting. Kill. 59. Mike to 59. Watch the run.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is going to be incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Brandon Graham, credit him with his sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 46. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. Gets it off to Freeman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was the veteran safety, Malcolm Jenkins, who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Second and 10. It's Ryan again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
And it's third down.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Let's go, defense. Our time.
Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Mark 25. Mark 47. Okay, south. Get that ball.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They run, Devontae Freeman. And I think the ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
On 2nd down now, it's Freeman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From from the 31. Ryan, the left side completion to Jones. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Check 53 is mine. They can't hang with us. Let's go.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And the return will stop him well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they look pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning. And he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington. But they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. Eluding the press. And it's a fumble, and the Falcons grab it. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it?
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And it is 28-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Yeah. You don't want none.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Howard. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Go. 180.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Now Wentz on third down. And he connects with Ertz. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give to Howard. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three buzz.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Allen Bailey able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
At their own 47-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on 1st down.
61, down. Check hot route. Hot.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ready. White 25.
Bandit.